Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we want to take a look at the first 10 legend teams of this season for the Open Great League. And so far there are only 10 teams available online in terms of information that we have for people who hit legend. And so I thought it would be a good video for you to see what you want to run. And I think there's one Pokemon that is very common under those top 10 players here. So of course, if you enjoy the video and you enjoy this channel, feel free to subscribe to this channel. I would highly appreciate it. But we can now move on to team number 1, which you already saw on my channel. This is going to be a team that's very similar to another legend team coming up as well. But again, there have been only 10 different legend teams published so far. So, yeah, like I didn't really have a choice. So we're going to have here Tinkaton, Ferret, and Guzzlord. There's already a video on my channel towards this team. Definitely check it out if you want to see on how this team works. I did climb with this team. This team only has one weakness, which is the Pokemon that's on the team itself, which is Tinkaton. Everything else I feel like is quite manageable. And that's basically it for that one. I actually was running, I think, Guzzlord with the Dragon Claw. I like it more with Dragon Claw. Trailblaze or Brick Break for it. Recently, people are running more Trailblaze because there are quite a lot of Mud Boys. Yeah, depends on what you really want to do. I think for this team, Trailblaze makes more sense. And for this team also, I feel like it makes more sense to run Dragon Claw, personally. But yeah, that's going to be it. Team number 1, the first legend team of this season generally. People asked me also, how did we know in the video that this is the first legend team? Because there's a leaderboard and there was no other player that hit legend, and this was the first one posted. So yeah, this was a few days ago. Anyway, next team, they actually, if you want to go onto Twitter and check out their tweet, had like 3-4 different teams in there that they played and had consistency with. I just didn't like this one because it is more of it's an ABC style line, but it's more designed to try to play out the lead and then try to align the back line. And this is not the right thing that is on the screen right now, so let me change this real quick. There we are back. This is now, of course, exactly what you wanted to see here, what is happening for this team. You kind of want to play out the lead matchup if possible. Otherwise, I would say that you mostly want to swap out into your, into your Empoleon. The animation doesn't play. And Empoleon would be, in my opinion, the better save compared to the Corsair. There are quite a lot of normal type Pokemon currently around. I think it makes more sense to run the save of Empoleon if you need to. But of course, it's mainly against fairy type Pokemon. Something I have to say as well, most of those teams are not proven against Mimikyu. Mimikyu is a special case because it's only available currently in the Open Great League. This is all Competitors Cup currently, which is the old form of Great League, which is also the better form of Great League. This is going to be kind of interesting because, as you're going to see here, this is going to be a team that's more of an old school style that I just like to see. It's something that you see more in higher up elo ranges as well, where they try to really win the lead and then just try to align the backline. Next up, this is the team that I said is very similar to the first one. They both hit legend very close to each other. Jason always like one of the top players every single season. They're running Tinkaton, Ferret, and Manabus. But one thing that I can say, at least because they said it, is that what you can use as an alternative option instead of Manabus is going to be Diggersby in the back. And then the team gets a little bit more different, at least. Diggersby was mainly there in order to deal with Euphis, which could be an issue for this team. To be fair, I could have put this in there, but again, they have Ferret, which is okay for it. Like, I really want to just have hard counters in there. But Diggersby helps you out also with the Tinkaton matchup, so it could be kind of interesting option there. Yeah, definitely an addition that I actually think would make a lot of sense. So yeah, generally speaking, Manabus still very bulky, helps out a bit as well, helps out against those ground type Pokemon a bit better. Next up, we have a triple shadow team here from the, I think, still reigning world champion. Not for too long, unless they can defend the title. We have the world championships coming up very soon. We're going to have here the Kingdra, the Ninetales, and the Celio. And we have a triple shadow team, and it's a interesting team. Kingdra is very neutral, and then I think they just try to align Celio and the Ninetales. Ninetales good against the only real weaknesses of the Kingdra, which is mainly like fairy type Pokemon, steel type Pokemon. And the rest of the team, we have 2 water type Pokemon here now to count, of course, the weaknesses of the Ninetales as well, with like rock and ground. Yeah, it's just a very solid team, very solid Pokemon. I do like Celio more as a non-shadow. I don't have it as a non-shadow, but I like it more as a non-shadow personally. But they were running triple shadow and hit legend quite early with it, so that's kind of cool. That's actually the coolest team I feel like out of all of them here today. Melamar as well as Melmetal is kind of interesting. Melmetal is apparently here as well in order to counter like a lot of Pokemon actually in the meta, like in the current meta. Like I think it was actually still during the Open Great League. I think it was also designed to counter Mimikyu as one of the best Mimikyu answers. but you also have with Dynamic Punch such great coverage against the current meta. So yeah, it's a very cool team. A bit weak against those fire type Pokemon which you have here as well, with like Talonflame is like the biggest weakness in my opinion. But otherwise it's a very interesting team. It's a team that I didn't expect to see being one of the first that hit Legend in this season. Apparently Malamar stays here as well, but the Pokemon that we see already coming up the entire time is Ninetales. Ninetales is nearly everywhere and nearly every Legend team, which showcases that this Pokemon is just ridiculously strong. Both Shadow as well as non-Shadows are really strong here. Malamar, Empoleon, Ninetales kind of similar to what the team was before. It's again also more similar towards the first team with Empoleon and the Dragonair in the lead, where you kind of want to align your lead, I feel like, and then try to align your backline afterwards. Double weak to ground on the back could be a bit of an issue, but you have, of course, coverage on both of those Pokemon as well as neutral play with your Malamar, so it's not the biggest issue, to be fair, ground-type Pokemon with this team. Team number 7, we're going to have, I think that's a current rank 1 in the world, actually, even, which is Ninetales, Florges, and Hisuian Electrode. I'm not too sure if they run Trailblaze or the Disarming Voice on the Florges. I feel like for this team, maybe Disarming Voice even would make more sense because they already have a lot of grass-type coverage. Yeah, anyway, but Hisuian Electrode is one of the biggest winners of the season with the update to Energy Ball. You don't need to debuff yourself, but you're also going to have easy and better access to the answer of Electric-type Pokemon, to an answer for Ground-type Pokemon. And so, yeah, that's why Hisuian Electrode is basically everywhere right now, and apparently with Ninetales it's going to be a very good combination. Weak to Credilli as well as Clodsire. I think this was also one of the teams that currently, recently hit number 1 in the world. Altaria, Grumpig, and Ninetales. I like Grumpig a lot in the current meta. I think it's a fantastic pick. Pun intended. But also we're going to have here the weakness, of course, to Mimikyu of this team. But again, if you have the option still the entire time is going to be the Competitors Cup anyway. So it is going to be the best kind of way of doing this anyway here. And this is going to be one of the best teams you can run for the Competitors Cup, or also the Open Great League, in order to climb up right now. Again, Altaria plus Ninetales is a really good core. Ninetales counters Steel as well as Fairy-type Pokemon, as well as Ice-type Pokemon. And Altaria counters the Ground-type Pokemon mainly that you don't want to face as a Ninetales or also Water-type Pokemon. So it's very good core together. And you will not get rid of Ninetales in this video. Ninetales is going to be here as well in team number 9. We're going to have the lead of Florges. Again, you can run Disarming Voice or the Trailblaze. I feel like both make sense in their own way. Chilling Water is necessary, it's such a good move. And then we have Ninetales and the Jellicent. I would personally run Ninetales most likely as my safe swap. Again, Jellicent is going to be quite weak against all of the normal type Pokemon around. Ninetales has next to no answer unless it's a Dragon type, and this is why Altaria kind of rises up recently as well, because it's the hardest answer to the Ninetales defensively. But yeah, this is going to be a very strong team. There's not really a big weakness at all here. They are all going to be Pokemon that you kind of manage with. And the final team for today's video is going to be Clodsire, the Shadow Annihilate, as well as the Empoleon. Very unique team, double weak to ground. I feel like this could be a bit of an issue, and also quite weak to Grumpig, which you saw in the team earlier. But against everything else, looks actually like a really good team. And I think that Clodsire is kind of a bit underrated because of the clunkiness of this Pokemon. People just opt to not go for it. But I do think it has actually quite a lot of potential. So this would be now 10 teams that hit Legend already this season. Did you enjoy the video? Did it help you? Then feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Also, write down below which team are you currently running in the Great League, would be very interesting. And I will see you then. Bye bye.